Hey, good morning, guys. It's Coach Scott. Another day of morning rides. My friend Nick tells me that I'm different energy in the first part of the workout than the back part of the workout. I agree. Just woke up. This is about as much energy as I have. I'm trying. Promise. Let's hit the menu quickly. I don't know why they go to hundreds on this way. I mean, I get the decimal. It's all right. But 239.2. That's a new low. I like new lows. Hit the workout. Today's foundation. Workout and back. We got about 2.5 minutes to go. Mike Roman's making an appearance. Mike Roman's, you gotta remember with Mike, it is not 4:57, it is 3:57. Matt, you'll be happy to know I am fasting today. I don't know how many hours I'm in, but I'm in. Let me see, it was probably about 6 o'clock, so I gotta go to 10 o'clock this morning. There's Todd. Good to see you, Todd. I think we've all taken a day off this week in the morning. That's good, though. I think it's necessary. These things are it's a little tough doing these morning workouts every day. Oh, Todd's gone. Oh. I feel like every once in a while Todd gets a little like Wi-Fi issues or whatever. We'll see if Ron makes it today. There he is. Ron's coming. There's Todd too. Look at that full house. I am feeling sore today. Tired. All right, 30 seconds. So yesterday was a tough day. I did a morning ride. That was a tough one. But I did feel good. I think, it's funny. So Nick messaged me and said, "Hey, check out your energy at like the first 5 minutes versus 45 minutes in." And so he did. And yeah, he was right. In the beginning, man, I tell you, these are like, the old man legs are in. It's so early. I mean, you guys are wild. When you see me say good morning, those are the first words I've spoken all day. I literally just rolled out of bed. I mean, I might say good morning to my dog. So that might be the second words that I say in the day. Roman's off the front here. Did I not click this in? The other guys are way up the back. I don't know why. Only a 5-minute warm-up today. How about that? That's for me. I think you know what, we're all doing different workouts today. We're kind of all over the place. I think Ron was doing the workout that I did yesterday. So if I forgot to put keep everyone together mode in, Ron's gonna be way up the front. And you know what? I might have, because looking at this, I bet that's on. I don't know. But I've also been just putting the group in the world like by ourselves. And today there's tons of people here. So I might have screwed that up. I don't know. I see these guys way back though. The funny thing is though, if we didn't have Keep Everyone Together mode on, they'd probably be right here with us, so I don't... They'd be ahead of me. I'm only going like 115 watts here, so... I got a feeling it's just not working right. Yeah, so I did the workout in the morning. That was pretty tough. Then I went and ran hills with Denise Morris, and she, we did like, I don't know, a little over an hour. Up and down hills, upstairs. So that was a good workout too. And I definitely feel in the quads. I think that, those two workouts combined. And then at night I checked into the USA Triathlon Ride just to see what it was about. I only did about 20 minutes. Hers was pretty intense. Although I was hanging in there. I'm gonna guess I screwed this up, but I don't know. So, two things. It's one or the other, right? It's, I don't even know if you guys can see me today, can you? Yeah, you can. I either screwed it up, which is bad, but not the end of the world. Or Zwift is screwed up. And honestly, I'd rather it be my screw up than Zwift's screw up. These orange guys. $90 cadence. Now at 5 in the morning. Yesterday was a 3-shower day. You don't get many of those. It's just a sign of a good day. You man, I'm sorry, I can't read this thing. I'm having issues with this YouTube thing. You know what, Matt? I didn't have time to watch it. I meant to, and I totally forgot about it towards the end of the day. But I'm feeling good about it. I think there's a little bit of a compounding factor, like doing it day after day after day, but I don't think it's detrimental if you don't do it every single day. So I kind of like the way I have it set up. As long as the number continues to go down, that's all that really matters. Looks like Ron caught up to me. Look at that jersey one. Look at that kid. It's kind of an annoying course. I keep telling myself that it doesn't really matter if there's a lot of climbing since we're doing a workout. It's the code. But when I look up and we're on these giant hills and we're going so slow, it just feels exhausting. Don't do it. You probably can't. You know what? You probably can't get it now anyway, Matt. I don't think they serve Big Macs this early. How many hours are you in, Matt? What time did you stop last night? We stopped late. I fueled for my workout yesterday. It wasn't really breakfast. It was like Cliff Bars and stuff. Then we went to do the run. We wound up having a late breakfast. That kind of really sets the tone sometimes. So I had late breakfast. Then my daughter had a friend come over. We went out to Red Robin. Alright, so you got some good hours in. I stopped at like 6 o'clock. We went to lunch at Red Robin. I got a salad. Travesty. Go to Red Robin and get a salad. But that was a late lunch. That was like a 2 o'clock lunch. So once you eat 2 o'clock lunch, then it's like, what are you going to have, a 5 o'clock dinner, 4 o'clock dinner? You can't have that. So we waited till 6, a little before 6. Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's funny. You kind of learn that stuff about, like, your habits, right? By doing this. And you're going to hold off and give yourself that smaller window. It just really helps. That's how even last night, I cut it off at like 5:50 so I could do the bike ride. I got on the bike ride. I only stayed on for like 20 minutes. When I got off, I was done for the day, right? I'm done for eating for the day. Had a cup of coffee, black, some water. Did some work and went to bed. We had a couple things coming out today, guys. We have the podcast with Sue Reynolds. That is ready to go. I just had to kind of write the intro and upload that. And then even on our blog page, Mr. Romans himself, Mike has got a blog post for us this week. Thank you for contributing. I gotta tell you, I really like the idea of putting up a blog post a week on the Team Ordinary page. And I started it, and then it got a little difficult. So I'd ask people to do it, and I'm trying to ask a new person every week. And it's hard to press people, right? You're asking them to do something for free. And they'd say yes, because they have kind hearts, and then they would just forget to do it. And I don't have enough time as it is. So they try to chasing people down. It's not always easy. Pain in the butt. So instead, Erin Shepard's idea was to grab a few people who would contribute regularly. So she volunteered. Allison Knott, our dietitian, volunteered. And I figured, I guess I gotta throw myself in there. And then Mike volunteered as well. So we've got a rotation of 4 right now. But anyone on the team is certainly welcome to write any given week and send it in. Dude, I open up the fridge multiple times a night after I'm not supposed to eat. And it's funny to me. It's not funny. It's almost concerning how much of like a habit that is. You walk by the fridge and you open it. Dude, you did a good job. You know what happens? You write, and it comes off the top of your head, and then you go to try to fix it, right? You try to proofread, and you're reading your own writing, so it's like your brain is like 3 sentences ahead, and sometimes you just don't focus. That's what happens to me, at least. So I'm glad I got the story. I made minor changes. Minor. And that'll be out today too. I'm due for a personal podcast, I know. But we've been hard at work getting some guests in. You know, Matt, that's exactly what I do. I open the fridge, I look in there, and I'm like, we don't have much in there. But I'm like, in the past, I might have like, I don't know, grabbed leftovers, or even if I'm trying to be healthy, try to find something in that fridge. See the new corset right there? Not open. But try to find something in that fridge. Okay, like you said, worth eating. Something in the fridge that, you know, it turns out it's just like it's just a habit. It's just a habit. Sometimes my go-to would be like those Mandarin orange cups, which initially were all for my daughter and for school and for all that stuff, but when I'm in snacking mode, it's for me. Todd's catching up to me here. That's good. I gotta think all that stuff, Matt. Celery, lettuce, anything solid would break the fast. I don't know, but it's a good question. And the old saying used to be that eating celery actually helps you lose weight because you're burning more calories by chewing than's actually in the celery. I don't know if that's true or not. Just water in there today. Yeah, so that's the plan, is to fast on mornings of these foundation rides. Keep the fast going at least 16 hours. And so for tomorrow's tempo ride, I'll make sure to eat carbs tonight. Even if they're vegetables. And then I'll eat a little something in the morning. And put some kind of drink in the water. I have that Gatorade Endurance that they give out at Ironman. So I feel like that's good practice for your stomach. So if I'm going to eat something, I might also just get like a noon, which is like 15 calories per tablet. So it's not much nutrition. It's more the electrolytes that help. I do think that the fueling and the nutrition is a factor as to why I had such a bad workout that time. But I really think this lack of sleep and just not being able to wake up so early is probably the number one factor. Especially after watching yesterday. My cat's upstairs, I don't know if you can hear her freaking out.
There you go. By the book, anything does. Yeah, you know what? I think that's Mike, right? Romans. Giving the workouts and eating window to match. And that's the problem for me. It doesn't, and it never will. Doing a 5 a.m. ride most days, every day, actually. And then coupling that with oftentimes, like tonight's Thursday night ride. The window of eating is between. And it does me no good. Matching it with the fats, it just makes things difficult. Not that it does me no good. I could do it. It's going to make things a lot more difficult. And I think you reduce the benefits when it comes to training. If you can't eat afterwards to help recover, within that, half hour to 2 hour window, if you can't eat in that window, it's not helping. I gotta tell you, Matt, I'm done on Cliff Bars. I think the reason I was getting them was A, my stomach can handle them, and B, that a lot of times you see those on the course, so it's easy to you're confident when you grab one that you know you can handle it. But when we climbed Ventu the other day, the Cliff Bars did not help me out at all. My stomach didn't want anything to do with them. It might have been the flavor or whatever, but I'm gonna get off of those and do something else. I just haven't decided what else to do. And I think even last year when I did Ironman, so I was doing the Cliff Bars all along. And like I said, my stomach could handle it. But my training, most of my rides were like 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours was my longest rides. So you probably have like 5 Cliff Bars, which is a lot. And you think about what they are, they're just like a mass, like very dense food there. You throw 4 or 5 in your stomach and that might be alright, but then I went on Ironman. I think I did the ride in 8 hours. And once I got beyond like the 4 or 5 Cliff Bars into like the 7 and 8 Cliff Bars, man, it was like a rock in my stomach. And I definitely felt it on the run. Just felt a little weird, a little heavy. Yeah, process. They just feel like they're like lumped together with like honey or whatever goo they use to hold that stuff together. Yeah, I must not have, how far are you? Ron is like 5 minutes ahead of me. Romans, you're behind me. How did that happen? You're gonna lap me, dude. You guys can't see at the very bottom of the right hand column. It says Romans is 8 minutes behind me. We went to bed kind of early last night, like 9:30. I think I was probably asleep by 10. My dog, man, he's just getting old. So he wakes me up in the middle of the night. I know he needs to go out, and the problem is he'll go in the house. We've talked about this. So I gotta go wake up from like a good sleep too. Carry him down the stairs, let him outside, and then wait for him. And carry him back upstairs. And then he goes and he wakes up again at 3 o'clock. I gotta tell you, I was so tired I just laid there. I don't think he had to go out though. I think he was just thirsty or something. He went down the stairs and then he wanted to come back up. And I could tell he was just waiting for me to come down. I just couldn't get out of bed. There's Ron now, 7 minutes behind me. You guys are gonna lap me, it's hilarious. And you know what's worse is like I know that Romans, now that he sees me on a screen, he's after me. He's gonna track me down. I'm doing a workout, I don't know. Here's what it is. Now Romans is 9 minutes back. Nope, that's not 9. 7? I don't know. Get through this one, we're pretty much halfway done. Is there an NFL game tonight? I don't even think I really care anymore. Nice little break here. Sweat's going pretty good. You're not eating steak, Matt? All right. You're talking about the bars, I think. This 115 target is nice. I can do this all day. Mike is famous for licorice jelly beans and black Twizzlers. Here we go. Looks like we're going down the east side. It's at the reservoir on the right. I used to run around the reservoir when I lived in New York all the time. It's about 1.5 miles. I think the most I ever did around it was, yeah, that's the Guggenheim on the left, that building, the Guggenheim Museum. But I used to run around that reservoir 1.5 miles. I think a couple times I did it twice. I never made it really beyond that when I lived in New York. I moved there, I ran a lot. Kind of like a life-changing event. I moved there, September 11th happened too. That first year. But I tried to start training for the marathon in 2001. And I probably did like a 5 or 6 mile run, which for me was huge at the time. So I felt pretty good. I put my name in the raffle. I thought it would be easy. I thought, how many people really want to run this? How many people in the world really could run it? And then I learned that it's like an 18% chance to get in through the lottery. And I didn't get in. And I stopped training. And then the irony was, after September 11th, a lot of people decided they weren't going to fly in to New York. And so they bailed. And I actually got an email from New York Roadrunners that they added more people to the race and would I like to run it, being as I put my name in the hat in March. But by then I had gained 20 pounds. Probably couldn't even do one loop around the reservoir. So as much as I wanted to say yes, I had to decline. Hey, that's a new badge. It's good stuff. Here's this park near us called Forest Park. It's where we did our hills yesterday. It's where I always do hills. And it's a great park for hills. There's kind of like two sections, right? There's like a bunch of baseball fields, and you can run around those, and it's flat. Pretty flat. And then you can go down this hill to this other end of the park, where there are just these massive hills. And you can sit there and you can run them all day long. And it's good because there's probably like 6 or 7 different hills. And all of them are challenging and a little bit different. Some are steep and short, some are a little more tapered and longer. I gotta tell you, I cannot wait to get off this bike today. So I took Denise down. We ran, I want to say we ran these hills about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks to a month ago. And some of the hills have names. So one they call, I think this was coined by a local running store. They call it the Flower Pot Challenge. The reason it's a long, steep hill. And at the very top, there's a big clay flower pot. So the idea is to run up to the flower pot. So I always have this thing, when I get to the top of the hill, there's got to be like a marker, whether it be a telephone pole. One hill has a gate. So this one has the flower pot. And it's all the way at the top of the hill. So you actually have to touch the flower pot. And that's the only way the hill actually counts. Because you don't want to tempt yourself, come up short, and say, alright, I did enough, turn around. I do that enough in my workouts. So the last time Denise was here, she did a flower pot challenge. And it's kind of weird because there's like, it's almost like a 2-level hill. And there's a hill that's kind of like, it's steep, but it's not like super steep. And you run to this intersection. When you hit the intersection, then it gets really steep for the second half of the hill. And I gotta tell you, you start running up that hill, that steep section, and you're already tired. And by then you're going so slow, you feel like you're making no progress towards your goal. Every step hurts. But you just keep going. And yesterday, she totally made it to the top. Didn't quit, didn't stop running. Significant hill. Oh, you can't, yeah, it's probably not anywhere, Mike. It's a local hill. Mike wanted to do the flower pot challenge. You gotta fly out here, bud. That 8 minutes went by pretty fast. 2 more of those. All the locals know the flower pot challenge though, Mike. It's one of those things. And Sherry B lives right near us. So I tagged her in it because I knew she would know what I'm talking about. And she did. So the problem is though, when you get to that second part of that hill, you're kind of exiting the park. And you get to that intersection, or if you make a left at the intersection, you go right back into the heart of the park. So it's like, it's an easy bailout point if you want to take it. So last time she's training for, so it's kind of all over the place right now because of COVID, obviously. She was training for a half marathon, but she still might do one. So right now she has a virtual race called Beat the Lurch. It is an actual race. So Beat the Lurch is either a 5K, 10K, half marathon, or full marathon. And I think she's going to do the half. She wants to do the half. It's in 2 weeks. She can. It's in the plan. But her really challenging race that's on there, that's actually on the schedule, is at the end of the year is a New Year's Eve race. And so it's like you run a race on New Year's Eve, and then you run it again on New Year's Day. So they used to call it the double, and so you'd run a 5K on New Year's Eve and a 5K on New Year's Day. But now they have all kinds of like terminology. There's like a double, a triple, a triple. I don't know, but she's running back-to-back half marathons on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, which is pretty solid. And then she wants to do a marathon next year in Marathon, Texas. I think she'll be able to do it. And I think I'm going to fly down there for that if she does that. I think it's just awesome. Yeah, but three weeks ago she couldn't do it. She walked up she did it. She walked up, which counts. But this time she ran up the whole entire way. She didn't stop. She got to the top and she kissed the flower pot, which there was like tons of bees in the flowers too, but she didn't care. I agree, man. Running sucks. But I will tell you, I think after kind of looking at, especially Monday we did Ventu, and with running at 240 pounds, according to my treadmill, I would burn about 175 to 180 calories per mile, which is a lot. And someone like Romans, who weighs like 125 pounds, alright, I'm kidding, what, 170? He probably burns, I don't know, 110, 120 calories per mile. So yeah, he can run faster and do more miles. But the heavier you are when you run, significantly more calorie burn. That's kind of unlike cycling now. There is a weight factor in cycling that does make you burn more. It's just the effect is way less. So you burn more per mile. But like Romans puts out so much power, so much more power than me. Same thing with Booze. Booze probably weighs like 210. And so we climbed Ventu and he pushed out like 1,800 calories. And I was like 1,050. I think Romans was like 1,600. So for 2.5 hours, all I burned was 1,050 calories. Yeah, that's kind of the challenge, right? We talked a little bit about that with Sue Reynolds on the podcast. Because she really likes sprint triathlons. And I think she's gone so far as, yeah, it's actually funny. I'll just leave it for the podcast. I don't want to ruin it. We'll talk about it later. But there's two ways you can go, right? You can go faster, you can go further. And I think especially for us who, we're not competitive in the field of fastness. I believe this was only one choice, to go further. It is a challenge of it though, Matt. For me at least, that's what I always think. And it's funny. I either embrace the challenge, get really wrapped up in training, and almost obsessive, or I get that idea of challenge planted in my head, and for whatever reason it doesn't follow through. It's hit and miss with me. That's what I found over the years. I would love to embrace ultras. I just haven't done it in reality. I haven't followed through. Part of it is how to ingrain that training into your everyday life. I mean, it's a lot of training. I'm getting tired. Okay, here's that trail on the right? It's closed. A lot of times that just signifies that they're building something new. It'll be open in a couple months or something. Alright, another 8-minute set after this. And cool down. Shower. I just must not have hit the keep everyone together mode today, I'm thinking. Yeah, you know what happened was Todd texted me at like noon apologizing for not making it in the morning. It's totally fine. But I think I felt like he thought that I didn't invite him to today's ride because he didn't show up yesterday. Which wasn't the case, I just hadn't set up the ride. Here we go. It does, Matt. The fasting gets easier? It does, I do feel like that. I mean, I still have the habit of opening the fridge. But the mornings have been better on days when I gotta wait till like 10 or 11 o'clock. They've been better. Those first couple of days were rough. But maybe it just becomes part of your routine like anything else, you know? I mean, yesterday I made, yesterday I ate. That doesn't count. But I did get up and I made breakfast for the kids, and I didn't eat that. I went out and ran, and I came back and I made ham, egg, and cheese sandwiches. Yes, cheese. I know I'm not supposed to. Just felt like it was necessary after doing 2 workouts. Felt like I earned a slice of cheese. But you seem to have a tough morning today. Is that just because it's longer? You've been doing longer. Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah, like sometimes, but sometimes, yeah, you gotta dig, and you just say it's a challenge, right? You know that like your primal self wants to get something to eat. Yeah, I think I put in 2 loops here, Mike. So you probably finished the second loop, and now you're kind of off in the middle of New York somewhere. But yeah, it's either, there's 2 feelings, right? It's either you're kind of content and good, and you know you can wait, and maybe you don't even think of it. You keep yourself busy doing other things, or you're hungry and you want to eat. But yeah, if you look at it as a challenge or a discipline, right? Same thing like training. I gotta get up and train. I gotta wait till 10 o'clock to eat. It's part of training, but it's a challenge. It's discipline. But yeah, I'm with you. Sometimes I feel like yeah, Ron just ticked up on my screen here. He's 14 and a half minutes behind me. As in to lap me. I only got 11 minutes left, so I don't think he can catch me. And he's got to go to work. Yeah, you never told us your weigh-in, Matt. You're supposed to weigh in, I think, what, Monday, Tuesday? I know you lost 6 pounds the first week, which is what I did. I've been kind of hanging around that level this week. Later on. Sorry about the mix-up on the keep everyone together mode. I'll do better tomorrow. All right, Mike, take it easy, man. Oh, you leaving? No, you're not leaving. You're saying goodbye to Ron. I gotta say, these foundation workouts are typically I sweat, but I feel good. Like I still have energy coming off. Today I feel pretty tired. And it's good that I kind of waited to the very end. I mean, but I do feel pretty tired. All right. So you could potentially lose like 10 pounds in your next weigh-in. That'd be huge. But this actually is also probably where the fueling comes in. That 1 hour, kind of right around that 1 hour mark. My quads right now are sore. There's like no fuel in them since last night. I didn't even really eat a big meal last night because I wanted to jump on the bike, and I think I ate at 5:50 and the ride was 6, so I didn't want to like overload my stomach. So it's not shocking that I'm a little fatigued right now. Tomorrow I will fuel though. You should live stream your weigh-in. Here we go. Cruising in. This thing is soaking wet. It's disgusting. Trying to find a little portion of the towel that might have a little dryness. Doesn't exist. Well, think about it this way, Matt. You ate an M&M's dark chocolate candy bar and a Coke. So yeah, you put some sugar in your body. Whatever. If you think about it, if you eat like 2 pounds of food you lose 6. If you eat 2 pounds of food, like the candy bar probably weighs, I don't know, 4 ounces. The Coke maybe weighs, really you're talking about 1 pound worth of food that goes in your stomach. The most you can gain from that is 1 pound. And yeah, it might send some signals to your body like, uh-oh, sugar coming. You're probably worse sick, right? Your body probably just expelled it immediately. It was like, let's get rid of this stuff. We're not having any of this. It's funny. I get into these modes where when I am off diet and sometimes I give myself permission to get like the Boston cream donut, to order the burger, to get something unhealthy. And sometimes in my brain I'll even do the calculation of the calories and say, yeah, but if I just mix it in and I'm like the rest of the day, it'll even itself out. Without taking into account like the nature of the food that you're eating and what it does to your body. But there are some days, and now that I'm in kind of a groove, just like this the other day, I walk into Dunkin' Donuts and I look at that same Boston cream donut and I look at the shelf of donuts. And some days, I could eat anything. I could eat half a dozen donuts if I really wanted. I just feel like I want to get something. And ain't nothing going to stop me. I'm going to buy it no matter what. But days like yesterday, I go in and I'm like, my brain thinks, how could anyone eat this stuff? It's so funny because 2 weeks ago I was eating this stuff. But I look at it today and I'm like, or yesterday, and I'm like, there's just nothing about it is appetizing. And part of it is working out. I got 2 workouts in. I went to Dunkin' Donuts, and it's like, why reverse all that work you just did from 5 a.m. on the bike, that hard workout we did yesterday, and then running the hills for over an hour yesterday in the park. Why damage all that work? Why ruin it? I used to, when I was like training for my first Ironman, I used to use that MyFitnessPal religiously. And I would like once I hit my max calories for the day, I either had to go out and work out more to burn more calories to give myself some space to eat, or just not eat the rest of the day. But I was religious with entering my food in that thing. Like if I ate 2 M&Ms, I would put it in there. Some people, I tell you, if you read Ultramarathon Man by Dean Karnazes, he talks about all the pizza he eats. Like he'll be on like an 80-mile run and he'll call like 10 miles in advance and order a pizza and have them meet him outside. I think that's how the book opens up actually. And then I'll eat the whole pizza and continue running. Or carry the pizza and run. And I have no idea how someone can do that. Because if I eat pizza and then run, I will throw up. And if you watch Lionel Sanders, YouTube channel, there was one day they followed him around, they counted all his calories of everything he ate. It was like 5,000 calories. And at the end of the day, he put down a whole pizza. And the dude's 165 pounds chiseled, eating a whole pizza. I mean, that's why sometimes, granted, the guy works out hours and hours a day. The guy's body's just a furnace. Burns everything that goes into it. But I couldn't get away with that. I think part of that is that calorie burn, what I was telling you before. You can get on here and you can push out a lot of watts, no matter your weight. I mean, Sanders could probably come on here for an hour, and if you really push hard, burn, I don't know, 1,500 to 2,000 calories. Maybe on a good workout, I'd push out 600. So that's part of the fitness aspect of it all. Not just the hours that you put into it, but the intensity that you work out at. I ate a frozen pizza the other day. We made 2 for dinner because we had some people here, and I thought that they would all eat it and nobody ate it. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, just one little triangle at a time. It's not a large pizza from like a pizza place, but it still wasn't good. Anyway, all right, another day in the books. I tell you, I wasn't expecting this one to feel really strenuous, but it was. And this shirt is just soaked through. My orange shirt. That was good. Thanks guys for the chat, man. That was awesome chat today. It's good to have people to talk to. It gives me something to say instead of just talking to myself. But I follow these guys. This is how you get 100 thumbs up. A lot of them will follow you back. No more today. All right, guys, have a good day today. Be good eating and get your workouts done. We'll see you tonight, Thursday night ride. Some of you guys will see you.